Hey everyone, welcome back to Azure Plays More Ease, the Elf in Felghana, where last time we fought Gyalva and got the sunset statue, which I called the stun stat. I don't know why I did that, but yes, we escaped the lava zone as well using the Ventus bracelet that we got, and we kind of reprised everybody back on town what's going on, and we got better equipment in town as well. We haven't been able to upgrade it, mind you, because we don't have enough Ravel ore for that, but now that we have the Ventus bracelet, and we got the wing talisman, we could warp wherever we want. Very, very useful wherever we want, being places that we found a travel monument. But for now, I don't know, it's like, don't go out of your way to find Chester. Might as well see if we could do that really quick. But we have some new enemies on the world map here, because the red wolves from the beginning were really, really easy to kill. You usually just swing them at the ones that kill them. And now we have some new enemies to make up better fodder on the world map. They still don't give us enough experience to be useful, mind you. Valentine Castle, if we take a look at our map, is in the north, it looks like. And if we make a left, we'll get to the Elder Mountains, which is where Dogi's heading. And we don't need to head there just yet. But we could make a little bit of a quick pit stop. Just a teeny bit of a quick pit stop over to the Elder Mountains for one specific reason. It's right over here, nothing too big of a deal. We can't really enter the Elder Mountains per se just yet because of story progression, but we activate a war point and get a save point, all that nonsense. I don't need to save, thank you. And that allows us to actually just warp there now because we unlocked it. Perfect, easy peasy. So let's go over to the Valentine Castle now. See about thanking Chester on Elena's behalf for the pendant. Nothing too special. So, heading north, we actually go past where we docked our ship. And we can head down here if we so choose, because we haven't really done that just yet. We can see this area off a little bit. And see that the ship is still standing, so that's good news. But we get 100 gold while we're here. Might as well. Free money. There we go. Get out of my way. And we get another travel monument, so it's useful to even come here anyway to begin with, because unlocking travel monuments allows us to warp places. What do we got going on over here?
Andre, if you'd been watching the gate like you were supposed to, this would never have happened. Were you slacking on the job again? Sleeping, maybe? Or off somewhere frolicking away?
What, so this is my fault now? You shouldn't have been out of the castle unattended in the first place.
Hello, sir. I'm sorry to bother you at random, but have you seen a little boy around here by any chance? A boy in formal attire.
Adol considered the question for a moment, then shook his head.
Oh, okay. Thanks anyway. I just don't know what to do. That poor boy is out there, all alone. You, sir, you appear to be a traveling swordsman, are you not? If you should come across a young boy in your travels, would you be so kind as to escort him back to this castle?
Sure.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. You're very kind. The young master seems to have slipped past the guards and is likely lost and alone in these dangerous lands. Anything you can do to find him and confirm his safety would be most appreciated.
So, let's see if we can find anything else here. He's not found before the Count learns of his absence. You better believe heads are gonna roll. Come on, man, my life is at stake here. Seriously, you don't know Lord McGuire. Please find the boy. Young Master seems to have slipped past the guards, most likely lost and alone. Yep, that's the same thing that he said before. It's the same thing that she said before. So, simple idea, crazy theory, hear me out. Lord McGuire went over to the Ilburn's ruins. Maybe he followed him? So let's head outside, see if we can find the kid. There he is.
Who are you, mister?
Adol told the boy that a maid from the castle had been looking for him, and had asked Adol to bring him home.
Oh, really? After I followed Father all this way, seems a shame to go back now. All right. If I resist, I'll just get in more trouble. You may escort me back to the castle. And thank you.
I don't know if that requires the jingle of obtaining an item, because that's escorting a boy.
If you've forgotten your way, the castle is to the north along the main road. You really can't miss it. I'll follow your lead.
Not a big deal there, but if you notice, he has a health bar. He could die. So it'd be best to keep an eye on him. Don't go too far or he might not know where you're at. It's a similar escort mission to how you had to do them in the earlier Ys games. So now that we have stronger enemies to deal with, it makes it a little bit aggravating as well. And his health bar may seem like it's much, but it's really not. So we might want to make sure to kind of get rid of everything in our path so he doesn't die, because I believe it takes like 2, sometimes 3 hits, depending on what he gets hit by, before he goes down. So it's in our best interest to keep him alive. Okay. It's a wasted boost, but I don't want you getting hurt. Alright, this area I can kind of maybe weasel by. Never mind. I tried. Nope. Get out of here. There we go. Plants don't matter as much, though. Their AoE, like how they attack, how they spam their attacks out everywhere. Yeah, that could happen. So let's make sure to get away from plants as they show up so he doesn't get hit. So it'll be in my best interest to get you over here. And then let me see if I could charge this up and get rid of plant. There we go. There we go. You should be safe and sound.
Master Kristoff, you're safe. I was so worried about you. I keep telling you how dangerous it is to leave the castle with all these monsters about. Please try to listen. Do you know how upset I would be if anything were to happen to you?
Fran, I'm sorry. I just wanted to see where Father was going. He never plays with us anymore. I barely even see him.
You were chasing after the Count, then? Oh, I understand. I'll keep quiet about this. Just don't do it again, okay?
Well, at least he's back, safe and sound. You just literally saved my neck.
Really now? If you hadn't been goofing off on the job, this never would have happened in the first place.
Fine. I'll admit it. I should have been more careful. I'm sorry. Anyway, we shouldn't keep the Lady of the Manor waiting, right? She's been rather worried herself, after all.
Oh, yes, you're absolutely right. Adol, I believe my lady would wish to thank you personally, if you've the time to spare. Please, won't you join us inside?
Alright, Valentine Castle. Maybe we can find Chester in here and see about thanking him on Elena's behalf. I looked away for a moment and he somehow slipped past me. Thank you so much for bringing him back. I can't tell you what a savior you've been to us. I believe the Countess has kept this little incident secret from Lord McGuire. Thank God for that. If he found out we allowed his son to leave the castle unescorted, he'd have our necks. It's not his castle, it's their castle. Ordinarily, the castle is off limits to commoners, and especially outsiders. But this is a special order directly from the Countess. Consider yourself lucky. Traps we had installed throughout the castle seemed wildly unnecessary, but I suppose Lord McGuire knows best. I said suppose. Though I probably shouldn't have mentioned that to an outsider, so let's just say I didn't, okay? Clock tower was recently added to the castle, built right off the chapel. It's ostentatious, even by Roman standards. I was rather shocked when I first saw it, but after getting to know Lord McGuire better, it all makes sense.
Presenting the Lady of the Castle.
You are the swordsman who brought my son home, are you not? From the bottom of my heart, I give you my thanks.
Oh, neat! His hair is so red, it looks like his head is on fire. Hey, what's his name?
Oh, right.
I forgot to ask.
Of course you did.
My name is Elizabeta. I am betrothed to Count Maguire, the lord of this land. These are our children, Alice and Christoph. May I have your name?
Adol politely introduced himself.
Master Adol, then. By your hand, my son has been safely returned to my care. I haven't the words to express my appreciation, but please, accept this gift as a small token of it.
I've never seen an adventurer before. You're really handsome. I'm sure you must have all sorts of stories to tell.
Yes, I'd like to hear some tales of adventure as well. Won't you tell us of your heroic deeds, Mr. Adol?
It seems you've piqued their curiosity. And mine as well, I must admit. Might you be willing to join us for dinner, Master Adol? My children seem to have taken quite a shining to you.
My Lady Elizabeta, may I inquire as to what you are doing?
Chester!
Chester.
Good afternoon, Master Christoph, Mistress Alice.
Sir Stoddard.
It is excellent that Master Christoph has been found. However, we cannot allow suspicious individuals in the castle.
This man saved my son. I feel that we should accord him our trust, lest we...
Count Maguire has deferred the castle's security and defensive duties to me, milady. Please understand, I am only doing what I must to fulfill those duties.
Very well. You may proceed.
Have you lost your mind? You would dare show your face here after what transpired in the ruins? I suggest you get out of here before Lord Maguire sees you.
Well, we didn't get to thank him, but we did learn something just now. The fact that he told us to get out of there, didn't make a scene or anything like that. You'd think that he would, considering that he knows us, and you can basically be like, he has the statues, he's wanted, blah, 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 blah. But he didn't. So that means that maybe there's something going on under there that we just aren't aware of just yet. And he's unwilling to tell us, obviously. So maybe in due time we'll find out. But right now, it's not that time. But what it is time for is finding new stuff. We are going to be heading to the Tigre Quarry in order to find a couple items here. Let's head over to the storehouse. Because in the storehouse, there obviously we can head up and continue forward, but there's stuff in this area that we can find. Did I warp to the right one? I don't think I warped to the right one. I don't know. I'm just gonna head right a couple screens. I believe it is this way. I could be wrong about that. I'm looking for that gap. I always forget exactly where it's at. But what I could do, honestly, I could just warp to the other ones and find out. I'm gonna go to the depths first and then go from there. All right, this looks a little bit more promising. So let's head this way. There we go. This is better. This seems a little bit more natural. So head this way, head this way. I'm gonna head upwards. Go over here. Up here. Whoop. Avoid them. I believe I'm heading the right way now. There's a gap right over here we can cross now in order to get this chest right here. That is 8 Ravel ore. That's the first thing I'm looking for, but it's not the thing I'm looking for. I almost just fell off there. So let's find that gap with that thing on it that we saw in the little cinematic ore. I believe that is a little bit further back, so I'm just gonna head over this way. I could warp to the, I believe, the storehouse, but I always forget exactly where it's at. So I'm just gonna head over here. If I could actually get up the stairs. There we go. Okay, this is looking promising. Yeah, this looks a little bit more promising. These enemies are not worth it. I'm not even gonna bother. They're not upgraded or any way, shape, or form. So right over here, I believe, is where it's at. Here we are. Woo! And that brings us over here. Bob's Pendant. As well as 100 gold. Actually, that was a lot more than 100 gold. It's like 1,200, I think it was. Anyways, let's warp back to town now that we got Bob's Pendant. At all. Ida's been through a lot, so please, try to look past her gruff attitude. She's really a very nice person. She recently lost her grandson, Bob. He was killed in a quarry accident shortly before you arrived. A bridge collapsed beneath his feet. He was still just an apprentice when it happened. All the other miners spent weeks looking for him, but no one ever found any trace, not even any of his equipment. Thankfully, I just did. And Ida's been shut away in her house ever since. I tried everything to cheer her up, but she's inconsolable. I think it's partially because Bob's parents were killed in the quarry accident too. Ida's been like a mother to Bob ever since, and then the same thing just happens again. Life can be so unfair. Probably wouldn't have hit her so hard either. They just found his body, or even just one of his belongings. Bob and I were about the same age, and I always thought of him as a little brother I never had, but I really miss him. Up until Bob was taken, Ida was a truly kind, caring old woman. Sad to see what grief can do to a person.
Oh, that pendant. May I see it? Oh, it really is. Bob, I'm certain of it. This was my grandson's pendant.
Adol gave Bob's pendant to Ida.
Thank you. You really searched for this just for me? I'm so sorry for my earlier behavior. Seeing a young man like you brought up a lot of painful memories. It just hurt so much. I didn't want to know you, because then, if you got killed too, well, at any rate, I do beg your forgiveness. You're an adventurer, are you not? Please, allow me to give you something as a token of my thanks. I got that from one of the Genos Island natives back when I was just a girl. It can bring light to the very darkest of places, and not just light, but truth as well. It's said that anything exposed to it will reveal its true form. I have no need for its powers, though. Bob's pendant is far more precious to me, but you could use it, no?
Venturing must seem like something of a dream job, but you'll get into a lot of dangerous situations, I bet. Imagine your parents must worry about you constantly. Or you're welcome to stop by whenever you like. I appreciate the company. Thank goodness. It's been a long time since I've seen Ida smile like that. I think I must have some idea how much it must have hurt to lose a loved one. This is all thanks to you as well, Adol. How can we ever repay you? Yeah, I can understand her behavior and how, like, she didn't want to be connected to anybody just because of the fact that reminds her of Bob. But yes, we got 2 items in the span of just doing that just now. We got the Uggai Brooch, exquisite quality with the gem blessed by our priest, coaxes enemies to drop more items. Very, very useful. It is an item that automatically works just by having it. Very useful, especially for now. But we also got the Nightfire Gem, which she said it emits a bright light and can reveal any object's true nature. This is an accessory, and we do need to equip this one. It's basically a lantern. These 2 had a magic that was just like this too, the light magic that surrounds you. The only difference is this one so much better. But yes, we have one more place we can check out using our warp. Now we can actually head over to the outside of the Ilburn's ruins, because there was a spot that we couldn't actually get across the gap in the jump. It's pretty early on in this place, so just kind of go over here and go into the inside of this, and we should see it pretty quickly. So let me just kind of avoid all these enemies. These enemies aren't really worth it much anymore. especially since the zone of lava, those enemies actually gave us experience. These don't really give us much of anything now. We can kind of get rid of them really quickly, so not a big deal. Yeah, let's head right over here, and we should get to it really, really, really quickly. Trying to avoid getting hit, even though I just lost 1 HP. It's fine. All right, so right over here, there is a thing we can put on fire, and then we jump over, and then cross the gap. And we get into this room right over here, which also locks a bunch of enemies I have to deal with. And we get 20 Ravel ore. And let's make sure I don't die. I mean, they don't really do any damage in order for them to be bad, but you can kind of get rid of them really quickly just by doing a bunch of attacks and things like that. You know how this works. Grab some money while I'm at it, and let's see if I can get rid of you really quickly. There we go. That should... Oh, I didn't kill them all. Now I killed them all. There we go. All good there. We can leave, and that is pretty much everything we can get using the Ventus bracelet at the moment. So let's walk back to Redmont and actually see about upgrading maybe our sword.
What do you got for me? This the one? Good
Sure.
to go.
That gives us 2 extra strength. I would do these. I just don't have the Ravel ore for it at the moment. All right. Now we should probably head over to the secret quarry. We've been leaving them waiting for a very long time now. So let's head to the storehouse. And hit the save point right over here. I'm going to use all these save slots. Hey there. I had to run all the way here to keep these monsters from getting us. Thought my butter-loving heart was going to explode out of my chest. Pretty sure I used up my quota of courage for this life. I have none of them left, and I'm hungry and scared. Khan's planning something. Whatever it is clearly not for our benefit in any way. So don't think of this as your journey alone at all. We're all in this together, and we'll help you in any way we can. Unfortunately, I think this is as far as we can accompany you, at least for the moment. It's much darker than we expected in there, and the monsters are more ferocious than any others we've seen. If you find anything to help light your way, it'll probably make your job a whole lot easier. Thankfully, I just did. Where you been at all? We've been waiting for you. As you can see, this is the entrance to the abandoned mine. The mirror is somewhere inside. What my old man used to tell me, he also found a really strange rocky mound down there at the bottom. I asked him if it could have just been a huge chunk of Ravel, but he said no. It's apparently green and crystalline. No clue what it could be. It doesn't sound like anything I've ever seen, to be honest. It's more apparently pulsed rhythmically like a human heart. It was so hard it couldn't even be chipped. Sorry, the old man's going senile sometimes, but he seemed pretty serious about this, so I'm betting it's real. Whatever it is, or was, it might be in some way related to those statues. So I figured it was worth mentioning. So the green crystalline wall could have the next statue. That's good to know. But heading inside the abandoned mine here, you notice that we have like a green aura surrounding us and it's flashing. That is actually our accessory. So if I turn it off, you notice it's much darker. This accessory is very useful in the PSP version of the game because you can't really see much of anything. I mean, if you look at my actual screen, which I can't show you because it's sitting on the table there, I can see, but on my recording screen, I can't really see. So using it is good. So next time in Azure Plays, I'm gonna leave you all waiting like I just left them all waiting, doing side quests and stuff. See you all then.